Hiya, thank you for joining me today. We're going to have a short session on using conjunctive adverbs. So I'm going to explain what conjunctive adverbs are, look at the groups that they fall into, and also look at the rules that need to be followed when using them. So first of all, when we're speaking about conjunctive adverbs, they are a special group of adverbs, and they are used within writing to help with the flow of the work and to help with the cohesion of it. If you didn't use them, your writing would kind of sound quite disjointed and topics would switch quite abruptly, and it just makes things quite difficult for the reader. So what you need to do is make sure that you've got these conjunctive adverbs, because it helps you to link ideas together, and it just helps with the flow of the writing. So let's have a quick look at some of the groups of the adverbs. So we've got the conjunctive adverbs that show addition, and this is really helpful if you are doing a persuasive piece of writing and you are giving reasons. You might say furthermore, and you would add another reason, or in addition, and you would add a separate reason. So the addition conjunctive adverbs work quite well for the more formal styles of writing. To show the contrast, you've got however, nonetheless, instead. On the other hand, is used a lot when it comes to discursive writing or balanced argument writing, where you are showing a difference in point of view. One of the other ways of using it is if you were writing maybe a story and talking about visiting somewhere. So I like to visit the park. However, it gets busy at the weekend. So you're kind of linking one place that is usually quiet compared to when it is quite busy. Then you have the cause and effect, and this could be used within stories, but most often it is used cause and effect within the more formal styles of writing. So something like Max kept talking in class, therefore he got into trouble. That is the effect of him talking in class, is getting into trouble. Then you've got the idea of the time and the sequence. So meanwhile, it means that one thing is going on at the same time, subsequently. And then you've got those that kind of show next and later. They are showing that one thing happens before something else. For emphasis, or for examples, indeed, certainly, in fact, and that also within persuasive writing is a good way of giving evidence for your points. So for instance, and then you would give the evidence. And then the last group are the group that summarize. So in conclusion, all in all, and all together, they work quite well in conclusions for persuasive and the more formal styles of writing. So where you are summing up all of your points. Now, there is one major rule that is often not followed when using conjunctive adverbs, and that is a punctuation rule. Now, what I often see when looking at people using the conjunctive adverbs within their writing is the linking of clauses using commas. You can't do that. So in the example here, the weatherman said it would rain today. That is one main clause. You can't link it to the next main clause with a comma. You can't do that grammatically. Now, because both of these ideas are linked, you could use a semicolon, okay, because you're linking ideas that are closely related. So the weatherman said it would rain today, and then the semicolon, and then however, no clouds are in the sky. Now, notice after the conjunctive adverb, after the however, there is a comma there. And whenever you have your conjunctive adverb, you always have the comma after it, okay? Now, if you wanted to separate those ideas so that they are totally separate, you could have the weatherman said it would rain today, and then have your full stop and begin the next sentence with, however, no clouds are in the sky. So make sure that the main clauses are not linked with commas, because although you're using a conjunctive adverb, it isn't a conjunction, so it can't link main clauses without the punctuation. And the next example that I have is a run-on sentence here. I was tired, I went to bed. Two main clauses, they are linked with therefore, but because therefore is a conjunctive adverb, not a conjunction, I can't use it to link main clauses without any punctuation. So what I could do, because the ideas are closely linked, I could say, I was tired, then have the semicolon, therefore, comma, I went to bed. You could also have, I was tired, full stop, therefore I went to bed. Personally, I would use the semicolons because the ideas are quite closely linked, okay? And because you've got the conjunctive adverb linking the two ideas, there needs to be punctuation that is more than a comma. You can't have commas linking them. You can't just have nothing before them. It needs to have either a semicolon or a full stop that links the main clauses within the sentence, okay? So thank you for watching. I hope that you've found it helpful. I look forward to seeing you in future masterclasses. Thank you. Bye.